Have you ever had one of those moments, a coincidence that's just so perfect, so on the nose, that it makes you stop and think, wait a minute, what if the universe is actually trying to tell me something? Well, that's exactly what we're going to dive into through the incredible life and memoir of Richard Fletcher, called SignPosts.
And right there, that's the heart of it all. This idea that life isn't just a chaotic, random series of events. Nope. It's more like a symphony of what he calls meaningful coincidences. A trail of breadcrumbs left by the universe itself, trying to guide us somewhere special.
So who is this guy, Richard Fletcher, and how did he come to believe this so strongly? Well, his memoir, SignPosts, it's basically a collection of his own personal stories, experiences that absolutely convinced him that our lives are just packed with these hidden messages, or, as he puts it, signposts.
I mean, really think about that for a second. This is the big question Fletcher wants us to ask ourselves. What if that person you just happened to sit next to on a plane, or that song that came on the radio right when you were thinking of someone, what if none of it was random? What if it was all part of some invisible design?
The key concept here is synchronicity. It's not just a fancy word for coincidences, it's a meaningful coincidence. Two things happen that aren't directly connected, but for you, the person seeing them, they mean something. It's like the universe giving you a little nod, or a wink.
Now for Fletcher, this wasn't some idea he came to later in life. The signs started early. His childhood was, let's just say, not exactly normal. It was filled with these strange, powerful moments that hinted that there's a whole lot more going on beneath the surface of reality. His very first encounter with this deeper connection was, well, it was profound. He claims that from the moment he was born, he and his twin brother John didn't need to talk. They communicated telepathically. They could send thoughts, feelings, even what they were seeing or tasting, directly to each other's minds. For him, this was the first huge clue that reality wasn't what it seemed.
And get this, even his house seemed to back this up. His father and grandfather were inventors, and he literally grew up in a house of the future. We're talking clap-on, clap-off lights, electrical outlets hidden in the carpet, and windows that would automatically shut themselves when it started to rain. The future wasn't some far-off idea for him. He was living in it.
But it wasn't all just external stuff happening to him. He also felt this powerful internal pull. Even as a little kid, words like India, meditation, and yoga would give him this mysterious chill. He didn't know why, but he had this deep gut feeling that those words, they were part of his destiny.
So as he got older, Fletcher did something that most of us don't. He didn't just notice these signs and think, that's weird. He started to follow them. And that decision kicked off a series of mind-blowing journeys, not just around the globe, but deep into himself.
You can see how it was all connected, like dominoes falling one after the other. It started in 6th grade when his dad, who had no idea what he was doing, taught him ancient yoga poses. That led him to a yoga class in high school, which then led him to a local ashram. Each step was a perfect signpost, pointing him directly to the next, until it all led to a life-changing trip to India.
And here's one of the craziest stories. He arrives in Bombay, right? He has no address, no phone number, no directions to find this ashram he's supposed to go to. So he gets in a taxi, closes his eyes, and just knows. He starts telling the driver, turn left here, go right, guiding this totally confused cabbie through a maze of streets right to the front door of the ashram.
It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? Was that just a 1 in a million lucky guess? Or is that what happens when we finally shut out the noise and learn to trust that inner GPS we all have?
And the signposts just kept getting more and more spectacular. At one point, he's in Zambia. He and his friends somehow get invited onto national TV to talk about their spiritual journey. And right after, as if to say, you're on the right track, they're standing on a bridge at Victoria Falls, and a perfect, complete 360-degree rainbow forms all around them. I mean, come on, that's a pretty clear sign.
Okay, so this is where the stories really kick into high gear. We're moving beyond intriguing coincidences and into territory where, according to Fletcher, it seems like the universe itself is actively playing matchmaker with the biggest moments of his life.
Take his career. He's on a trip to Maui, meets a guy, gets a job. That job ends. A year passes. He runs into the same guy who now works at Charles Schwab. He applies for a job there, but nothing. He has to wait 9 whole months before an offer suddenly appears out of the blue. It's this perfectly timed, if very patient sequence of events.
The universe even found his wife for him. After a spiritual teacher told him he was about to meet the woman of his dreams, Fletcher had an incredibly vivid dream about a woman named Barbara. Sure enough, the very next month, he's at a friend's house, and in she walks.
He knew instantly that was her.
But at a certain point, the experiences went beyond just signs and became, well, direct cosmic downloads. One day, he's just driving his car, and for a literal split second, his consciousness just explodes. He wasn't Richard in a car anymore. He was the entire universe. He could feel distant stars, swirling galaxies, the secrets of black holes, all of it. Another time, during a deep meditation, he experienced what's known in ancient traditions as a Kundalini awakening. He actually saw and felt this magnificent cobra made of pure energy rise up his spine, and with each energy center it touched, it flooded his mind with a new, profound level of understanding. And just to show you how truly wild these signposts could get, he even describes an encounter with what he can only call an alien being, a creature that looked like a mix of human and reptile that just appeared, walked with him, and then got in his car and sat in the passenger seat for a 10-mile drive before vanishing into thin air.
So, telepathic twins, cosmic visions, carpooling with aliens, what's the point of all these absolutely incredible stories? Fletcher's clear that they're not just about him. He believes they reveal some universal truths about how we can all navigate our own lives.
One of the biggest lessons he learned was simply to accept that change is going to happen. It's the one thing you can count on. He realized that if you want to see the signposts, you can't fight the current. You have to let go of your own rigid plans and just trust the flow of life.
So if we boil it all down, his journey gives us a kind of roadmap. First, we have to embrace those synchronicities when they pop up. Don't just dismiss them. Second, cultivate those deep, nonverbal connections with people. Third, nurture your curiosity. Always be looking for the signs. And finally, you have to persevere, because challenges aren't roadblocks. They're just another kind of signpost.
In the end, Fletcher's story is really a mirror. It's asking us to look at our own lives with fresh eyes, to start paying attention to the whispers, the nudges, and the little winks from the universe. Because if he's right, it's speaking to all of us, all the time. The only question is, are you listening?